Hi everyone. So today we are going to calculate current and prior periods in Power BI. So I already have one video on this, but right now I have a new solution because I was watching a video on Pareto analysis in Power BI, and that's where I found the solution to this problem. So now I have also my aggregated data aggregated data for prior periods, and if I click on this plus sign, then I also have my current and prior dates accordingly. Right now I have selected 15th to 31st of January, so 15 to 31st is current period and 1 to 15 is my prior period. If I select the entire February month data in my slicer, then my Feb is in my current period and January is in my prior period. So I'm going to start creating that here in a new file. I have the same table and a calendar table. So now I'm going to start creating my periods table. I am going to create this in a calculated table. So I'll create a calculated table here, periods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a current and prior periods column, and I'm also going to have all the dates of my calendar table in them. So I'm going to use cross join here. So for example, if I see for one day, 1st of January, so 1st of January 2000 will be in my current as well, and then I'll have a prior row as well where my date will be 1st of January. So for every date there are going to be current and prior records. Okay, so current and prior. Alright, now I'll use selected columns. My table is my calendar table. My column name is date, and my column is my date column. Alright, perfect. I will change this name as periods. Alright, so now here first I'm going to take a slicer with my calendar date and a table with my periods, matrix with my periods and my date. Date is going to be just a normal date. Alright, now I'll go to my modeling tab and I'll connect order date and my date. Here I'm also going to connect period date with my calendar date, and this is going to be an inactive relationship and both direction. Alright, so this is how my model looks right now. Okay, so now as you can see here in my current, I have all the dates of my calendar table. Similarly in prior also I'm going to have all the dates. Okay, I will just increase this size a little bit, 15, and row headers 15. Yeah, alright. So now I am going to first create a flag variable to filter my current and prior dates. So I'll start creating a new measure and I'll call this flag. So first I am going to calculate my current period and prior period dates. For that I'm first going to take a variable for my start date equal to min of calendar date. Similarly, my end date is of my calendar date. And now I'm going to calculate the difference, which is date diff. So date diff function, it is going to give you difference between the two dates. So my start date, date number 1 is my start date, and date number 2 is my end date, and interval is day. Okay, so now this returns 1 day less actually, but I want one more day, so I'm going to add 1 year. I have actually explained this in detail in my previous video. So now I'm going to calculate my prior date. So prior start is start date minus my date diff, my difference. And similarly, my prior end is end date minus diff. Alright, so now I have my periods. So I'm going to return and I'll write a switch statement, switch true. So first I'm going to filter out my current dates. Okay, selected value of my periods has to be current, and my period date, so selected value period date is greater than or equal to start date, and same selected value period date is less than or equal to my end date, and then I want 1. Else I'm going to write this same condition again. I'll just copy this part. So now my period has to be prior, and selected value of period date has to be greater than or equal to prior start and less than or equal to prior end. Then give me 1, else just give me 0. Alright, so now I am going to put this in my filters. 1. Okay, so I'll select 15th to 2023 Jan 31st. Alright, so now in prior dates I have 1 to 14, and in my current day period I have 15 to 31. Okay, so I'm expecting this result. Now I'm going to calculate my total sales against this. So I'll take a new measure. I have already built an inactive relationship between my periods table and my calendar table. So now this is my total sales measure. I'm going to calculate sum of sales, and in my filter I'm going to use remove filters coming from my calendar date, which is my slicer, and I'm going to use relationship. So I'm going to use this function, use relationship. So use relationship of my calendar date and my period date. Alright, and now I'm going to close this bracket. Okay, now I'm going to pull this measure in my values. So as you can see, it has calculated current and prior dates. I will just quickly test it a little bit. So I'll select February data, 28th of February, 15th of February. So 15th to 28th is my current period, and my prior has to be that many days behind, which is the first half of February. So this is giving me accurate results. So yeah, thank you for watching this video.